like as I mentioned, my agenda would be to make you understand the basics of database and SQL language and the few basic but very important queries which are very often asked in any interview or as a QA software engineer or software tester. You should definitely have this understanding because any project you work, there is something called as database, and you should have that functional understanding as well before you work on the ground. Okay, you play with the queries. So database is what, like, to start with a simple example, previously, now in mobile we have all our contacts saved, but in previously, if you go few years back, we used to have those landline phones in everyone's house. Okay, and we used to have a small diary or a directory where we used to save the contact details of our relatives, friends. Okay, if you are in a business, you can save your customer details as well there. So that was a some storage of your contact numbers, or along with maybe address details also, if you would save there, if you have to send some invitation, because previously we used to have, postal services more. So that was, you can call that a small database of your contacts. Okay, to just understand the concept of database. So with that, database is nothing but, it has two words, data and base. So a group or a collection of data which is stored and organized in a proper, decent manner, you can say, in a organized structure, the data is stored there. So that is a simple understanding of a database, like the example of a directory I gave you. Now if you want some other example, like we all work in some company. Okay, so in that company there could be multiple employees. It can be 50 employees, 10 employees, more than 100 employees. So we company needs to store the data of those employees somewhere, so that again becomes a database of the employees. Okay, the employee contact number, the age of employee, address. Then if you go further, the company will pay you, so then comes your financial picture. Then you need the account details of the employees for the payment of your salary. So that becomes the database of your employee. Okay, similarly, if you're working with some customers, say you have your customer, um, you can say some medical institutions or hospitals are your customer, and you're a vendor. You're providing some medical um, items to them. It can be simple medicines or cottons, etc., some inventory in medical industry. So you will need to have the database of your customers, who can be your medical hospitals, the contact details of those customer, etc., the inventory that they purchase from you, like that. Other example, in schools, colleges, they have the database of their students. Okay, or the colleges, different students, their contact number, their address, their mode of transportation by which the students are reaching the school. So all that will be the database of your student. Okay, so like that, database can be anything. It is mainly, you can see that in every industry or every area where a business or a business is carried out. Okay, so now, and data you all must be aware, like data can be a small thing, like a small Word document that you save on your laptop. It can be a small Excel. Okay, if you take example of Facebook, you some image is uploaded, so that becomes a data. It can be a image, it can be any file. A simple like that you do on any image in Facebook, okay, that again becomes a data for the Facebook. So data is very vast. So we have seen like what is data, what is database. Now, what a different database? To give you recent example, we can have MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle databases are there. Okay, so simple. You can just to understand, it is a storage of data in an organized fashion or a manner. Now, to access that data, to retrieve information, to store that data, to manipulate the data, you need some language or a medium which is called as a query language. The basic language which we all should know, the basic queries in being in IT industries or being a QA, is SQL. That is standard query language. Okay, ये सबसे बेसिक है जो हम सबको आना चाहिए. For example, now what will we do in this session? We will go through few basic SQL queries. Now, since we have understanding of what is data and database, we'll navigate or We will walk through basic SQL queries, which are DDL queries, then DML queries, and DCL queries. Okay, so you can see this simple diagram which is here. We will go through these queries, the syntax, why do we use these queries, what is the use and purpose of these queries, and at the end, maybe we can try to uh, build and write these queries and execute them. Okay, we'll also see the result of these queries. This is very basic and a foundation you can say which is must know for any QA, because for any project this you will have to you can say as a prerequisite knowledge ये होना चाहिए आपको. Okay, so what is DDL to start with? DDL is simple data definition language. अब एक डेटाबेस है उसमें आपको कुछ रिकॉर्ड सेव करना है. ओके तो सबसे पहले आपको वो क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. मे बी यू वांट टू क्रिएट दैट टेबल. We will consider example of a customer. I am a company, I am doing some business, I have few customers. मुझे वो I have to create that customer का table first. So to create, we use a create query or a create command to create new table in the database. Okay. So for example, I have to create a table which will store my customer data. Say मुझे टेबल का नाम देना है कस्टमर या एम्प्लॉय वॉट एवर. So what will be the syntax? It will be simple create table. This is a syntax name. Then we can give any name to the table. Say I give a name employee or customers or students, whatever name I can give. Then in this circular bracket, we have to list down the column names. Okay. Suppose say customer ko I want the name of customer, I want the age of customer and email of customer. Okay, so I can just give these column names. It can be one column, two column, depending on the requirement. And we give the data type. Data type matlab kya? Agar age is the column name, data type will be a numeric value. It will be integer. If my column is a name or it is an email, then it can be character or varchar. Okay, the data type will correspond to the data you want to store in that particular column. Okay, then we have, so this is a simple create ka syntax and the one example query I have just given below that. So what I will do at the end of the session, I will share this document with you all, and then so that it will be handy for you. This is just a subset what I fetched from Google, simple, जो very important and basic है queries के लिए. Now once you create the table, you may need to alter that table. Alter means what? You may need to edit that structure in the database. For example, आपने एक table create किया, it has 5 columns. Maybe you need to modify any one column in that. In that case, we use the alter table का command. So it is used to add, delete or modified any column in an existing table. Okay. So this is a simple structure or a syntax of that query. Alter table, then it will be table name. Then modify column. Which column you want to modify? The name of column will be written here. Say मुझे email को modify करना है, column email in one table of customers. Then the data type of that column we can mention. Okay, we will all execute these queries definitely, so that time it will be more easy for you to understand. Okay, and there maybe you can also help me and we would interact and do that execution of these queries. For now you can just understand कि वो command क्या है simply. Yeah, I think yeah, Ashwin, you can.
I have one question. Yeah. So in alter command, we have modified only column or row.
We can do both.
Row as well as column also modified both.
Yeah. So we'll first try to modify one column. Like I have not tried with the row, but we will try to update a column and then I will just cross check and let you know like if we can also update row there, because generally for row we are using a DML command that is your update one. Okay, it will use to modify or update your existing rows in your database. So alter, which is your DDL command, that is mainly used for altering or updating, modifying your existing columns in a table. Okay, so that is about alter. Then other DDL two commands we have to see in, that is drop and truncate. अब drop क्या करेगा? Drop will used to basically, from the word we can understand कि it will delete your structure as well as records in the table. This is a simple drop ka syntax. Drop table, table name. Okay, this is very important. Then we have the truncate command, which is another DDL command. Interview में generally they ask you the difference between delete and truncate command. So this is very important कि delete ये DML में आ जाएगा, truncate would be your DDL command. Truncate क्या करेगा? It will delete all your rows in table, plus it will also free the space. It will release that space of your table in the database. तो truncate का syntax रहेगा truncate table and then table name will come. So if you run this command, all the rows in this employee table would be deleted and that space would be released. Okay. So that is about DDL commands. We have create, insert, alter and drop. Sorry, create, alter, drop and truncate. Insert will be your DML, which we'll see now. Okay, DML is data manipulation. Now once you have created your records, you have altered if required any column in that particular table. Now you can manipulate. So to manipulate your table means if you want to insert any new records, okay, if you want to update existing records or rows in the table, हम DML command use करेंगे. DML would be insert into. Insert will do what? It will, by the name only we understand, it will insert new records, that is new rows in a table. For example, if you have employees table creators, अगर आपको number of employees, customers add करना है, you can use this command. Now you can see there are two syntax mentioned. What is the difference between these two syntax? Say your table is having 5 columns. Okay, अगर आप ये all 5 columns you want to add a row and you want to give value in all the 5 columns, then you can use the second command. Okay, where in the first line we are not mentioning any column names. अगर आपको कोई, if you want to insert value, you want to create a new row and insert value only say in the 3 columns out of 5 columns, then you can use this first syntax. You just need to give the name of those 3 columns where you want to insert values, and in values line you will need to give those 3 values. अगर आपको, if you want to insert or provide value in all the existing columns of that particular table, okay, जो रो आप न्यू रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट कर रहे हो, तो यू कैन यूज दिस सेकंड सिंटैक्स. सिंपल. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज update. You have created, inserted values. Now if you want to update any row, that is record, existing record in the table, you can use the update command. Update is very simple. Update, you will write the name of table, set keyword you will use, whatever value you want to set in any column. Say user, students में username एक column है, you have to give some value to this username. Where is very important, it will give the condition. आपको existing which record you want to update, that is specified using a where keyword. Okay, so this, the syntax would be simple: update table name, set whatever you want to update, that value you will mention here, and where will specify the condition. Okay, then the next DML is delete. Delete क्या करेगा? It will remove your one or more rows depending on condition what you are giving, कि आपको क्या delete करना है table में, which rows you want to delete, you can specify using the where condition. So delete from, write the table names, and then where you will write the condition. Okay, simple. So we have seen 3 DML command: insert into, update and delete. Okay, नेक्स्ट इज डीसीएल कमांड. डीसीएल में यू शुड एटलीस्ट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि डीसीएल क्या होता है एंड व्हाट आर द कमांड्स at the initial level. DCL is data control language. So by the name is what control. कंट्रोल मतलब क्या, किसको एक्सेस देना है नहीं देना है, मतलब whom you want to grant the access for any particular database table and take back that access. So example is grant and revoke. These two are your DCL commands. Grant मतलब क्या, you are granting access means you are giving, providing the privilege or access to any particular user for a database or a specific table in that database. Revoke means what, you are revoking, you are taking back the access or permission from particular user. Users होते हैं in any project you work, there are multiple users. Each user will have some roles and responsibilities. Okay, for example कोई admin रहेगा, कोई QA रहेगा, कोई developer रहेगा, some would be a business analyst role. Okay, similarly in a company, in a business, multiple roles are there, so every role will have that permission and that access would be provided depending on the role. So these are the two commands which will control the access and permissions to any particular role. So in today's session, we have seen like DDL commands, create, we create a table. Alter will what? They will modify the columns, okay, in any row. Update क्या करेगा? Update rows, existing rows को modify या update करेगा. Truncate and delete, you should understand the relation and difference. Truncate will truncate the, as we saw, the entire rows of the table and free the space. Delete, what will it do? It will just delete the rows, one or more rows depending on the condition that you specify over here. ठीक है, उसके बाद we saw drop. Drop will do what? It is a DDL command which will drop the entire table. The structure itself will disappear. Okay, then we saw the DML, inserting of the new rows, records in any table, updation of the existing rows and deletion. Then DCL is the control language. We grant the access permission and we revoke that permission. Simple. Okay. At the
I
end,
have another question.
yeah, tell.
Give me one example, drop and truncate.
Okay.
What is the difference between drop and truncate?
Okay, the first difference is one DDL है आपका, that is definition language, other is your manipulation language. Okay, अब drop delete क्या कर रहा है? It will simply sorry, drop and truncate you said. Drop DDL में क्या करेगा? It will delete both the structure and the record. Okay, and in your truncate command, it will remove all the rows from the table. Drop, it will remove the whole database along with the data, and उसमें अपने कुछ से tables है, आपका indexes है, जो कुछ भी है वो सारा remove कर देगा. Okay, so one is DDL, other is DML. That is the most important difference. Truncate में it is पूरे rows आपके remove हो जाएंगे यहाँ पे. ओके, आपका मेमोरी रिलीज हो जाएगा. ओके, एंड ट्रंकेट ये थोड़ा फास्ट रहेगा एज कंपेयर टू योर ड्रॉप, इफ यू कंपेयर द परफॉर्मेंस और द स्पीड, बीइंग अ डीएमएल लैंग्वेज. ओके, एंड इसमें एक और इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट है कि ड्रॉप अगर आप करते हो तो वो परमानेंट डिलीट हो जाएगा आपका टेबल. इट विल रिमूव द टेबल एज वेल एज द डेटा इन दैट टेबल परमानेंटली. ओके, that would be your high level difference you would, if you want. इसके नीचे मैंने क्या किया है ना, I have listed few must know questions which you may face or you should know as a QA. One of which, like what we discussed, drop, delete and truncate का difference. And there are other few questions high level which we have maintained. Basic जो आपको understanding होना चाहिए. Okay. Now what we will do, we can just try to execute few queries, same queries that we discussed in today's session till now. just to get more understanding of those queries. Okay. Simple. I'm just using one Google ka web page which has simple tables created. Uh, these are the on right side. If you can see a multiple tables, if I click, the tables are displayed at the bottom. But we will not use this table. We can simply try to write the queries and execute them जितना हो सकेगा. से सिंपल से स्टार्ट करना है तो इफ आई टू फेच अ डेटा ऑफ एनी टेबल, सो हम कैसे करेंगे, सिलेक्ट स्टार एंड आई कैन राइट सिलेक्ट स्टार से मुझे कस्टमर का डेटा चाहिए या एम्प्लॉयज का, तो यू विल राइट फ्रॉम द टेबल नेम से टेस्ट, ये लास्ट का टेबल लिखता हूं मैं एंड वी कैन रन दिस क्वेरी, तो वो मुझे टेबल देगा, इसमें एक ही रिकॉर्ड है विच इज डिस्प्लेड. से मुझे अभी स्टार मतलब पूरे ऑल इंस्टेड ऑफ ऑल कॉलम्स से आई जस्ट वांट टू डिस्प्ले वन टू कॉलम्स. ओके, then you can specify the name of those columns, say name comma age. I just want these two columns. Instead of star you can write the name of those and you can run this command. Okay, this is very simple and handy page where you can write, practice writing the queries and their execution. Okay, कुछ error रहता है तो it will also show you the error. After that, say I will select star, or say first we will create a table simply. Okay, I will create, हम use करते हैं. Say I want to create one table. Maybe यहाँ पे कौन सा नहीं है, students is not there. Okay, so हम students वाला create करेंगे. You can give any name to tables. I am giving students. Okay, अब इसमें हम मुझे क्या add करना है. Say I want to add create table and you can just add some column names. Say मुझे I have to give the name of student I want, then I want uh, maybe I want the email of student, then I want the age of student, then I want the city of student. अब यहाँ पे अपने को इनका डेटा टाइप भी देना होगा. Say the my data type over here is varchar 20. ईमेल का मेरा डेटा टाइप भी से varchar रहेगा 25. My age would be simple, some integer number. My city would again be say some varchar 30. This is what I am giving. At the end will give semicolon. अगर I want try to execute, हाँ देखो यहाँ पे students आ गया right में. Okay, so we have created this table. Okay, now if I just want to display this table student, it is not giving me result because we have not created any records in that. Okay, so now we'll create a record in that. Now we know that to create a record, which command do we use? Data definition language use करेंगे हम, right? We'll need to create table हो गया, फिर we'll need to, okay, we'll use DML command to insert the record. Insert into, so we can use this command, insert into and values. So say I'm using insert into. Insert में हमने we saw the two syntax. If we want to give values in all the rows or in one specific rows. Okay, say I want to give values in all the rows. So insert into table name आएगा पहले. Table name is students. उसके बाद I want to give values. Values आ जाएंगे मेरे. अभी हमने I think पहला हमारा name था. Name से मुझे देना है राम, comma, then it was email ID if I'm not wrong, some XYZ I'm giving. Then मेरा age था जो हमने integer दिया था, से मेरा 25 years का राम है. And last was city. City से I give Pune. I close my bracket. Just execute this. See, you have made changes to database, rows affected one. So we have created one record in this. Say I create another record. I'll just change this value. Suppose I give name Seema, some change in email ID, age is say 55, the city is some Delhi. I again run this query. Now see the students, we can now um, select star from table name is students. See we have two records created. So हमने पहले table create किया, फिर हमने उसमें दो record create किए. तो first we used DDL command to create a table. Okay. Then we used a DML command, that is insert two records in that table which we created student. Okay. Now say I want to update. मैं DML का update use करता हूँ. Update का syntax सबसे easy है. Update set where. Okay. So what we will do? Update. अपडेट में आएगा टेबल नेम, मेरा टेबल नेम है स्टूडेंट्स से, मुझे यहाँ पे राम का सिटी चेंज करना है पुणे से. ओके सो अपडेट स्टूडेंट्स, देन सेट. सेट क्या करना है? सिटी. सिटी आई वांट टू मेक इट, सिटी इज अ स्ट्रिंग सो उसको सिंगल इसमें लिखना, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सिटी मुझे से यहाँ पे करना है बर्लिन. But condition is very very important. Condition will give using where clause, where my name is equal to Ram. So ये हम again we are using update which is a DML, data manipulation language. I will run this query. See we have made the changes. If I see now Ram student, Ram का city Berlin हो गया. Okay, so they used one DDL, two DML command. Okay, now what we will do? We will say we want to add one existing column in this table, तो हम alter use करते हैं. alter table, table name, add email, ये वाला simply हम use करेंगे. I'm just copying, keep as we have time constraint. से मैंने alter table, table name लिया students. I want to add one, say email is already there. Say I want to add one column. कॉलम स्टूडेंट रिलेटेड हो सकता है, say
ID.
student ID. Yeah, very good. We can have a student ID. It will have a some ID रहता है अपने स्कूल में, one numeric ID. So it is again an integer. Alter I'm using, that is again a DDL command. I'm altering this table, that is I'm inserting one more column, that is ID. Okay, I run this again. You have made changes to database. अभी हम फिर से select star from students. Let us see this. देखो ID आ गया. Now we have not inserted any value. It is simply showing me null value as of now. Okay, one column is added. Now we have total 5 column in the student table. अभी हम से delete वाला use करते. Delete is one more DML command. Okay, delete is used to what? Remove one or more row. से मुझे एक रो डिलीट करना है. If I delete, the syntax is simple. delete, डिलीट करना है कौन से टेबल से? स्टूडेंट से. स्टूडेंट से डिलीट करना. अगर मैं अभी कंडीशन नहीं लिखता हूं तो इट विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि मुझे क्या डिलीट करना है, कौन सा रो, बिकॉज अ टेबल विल हैव मल्टीपल रोज. अभी अपने पास दो ही रो है, से वी हैव मल्टीपल रोज. सो वेयर I will simply give ID equal to, ID में कुछ वैल्यू नहीं. ओके, so I will give ID नहीं, age equal to 25. Run this query. Changes made, rows affected 1. Now if you see, there is only one row existing. We have deleted a row with the age 25 which was of Ram name student record. We have deleted that. Okay, so we tried to execute, I think insert we used, update use किया, delete. So DML all three we tried to execute them. यहाँ पे हमने create यूज किया, alter यूज किया. ओके, से आपको ड्रॉप करना है. We can try to drop something. Say use to delete. Yeah, I think time remaining is okay. So we have around 3 to 4 minutes. ठीक है. So अगर मुझे ड्रॉप करना है कुछ तो यूज टू delete both the structure and the record stored in the table. So drop table, table name. Let us try to drop the students table that we have created. Drop table and the name of table. So this is your DDL command, drop, that we are using. I'm running this. You have made changes to the table. If you see on right side, the students table is has already disappeared. So drop से क्या हुआ है? As we also discussed drop, you had also asked the question. So what drop did? It deleted the entire
Table.
table, the structure and all the records in that. पूरा उसने
Okay.
permanently remove कर दिया उस table को. Okay, this is very important. I think we try to execute all these commands. I will share this table, this content or the word with you, just so that it will be a reference like what we discussed today along with the recording of this session. Quickly, I will walk through these questions which I have listed here. These are, like, you can call them a very basic question or an important question, must know questions for any QA if you face any interview or in any project where you have some database functioning. Okay, so one is, you should know what is the use and purpose of these three queries, DDL, DML and DCL. ये आपको explain करते आना चाहिए. Functional understanding is very important. Okay, then क्योंकि syntax तो देखो, you can get syntax from Google, you can execute that, but very important, you should understand that which query you have to use and when you have to use that query. Okay, after that is, you should know what is a primary key in a table. Okay, that it is a field or a group which uniquely identified each record. जैसे हमारा student table which we created, that was a ID 1 2, that was the primary key for us in that example. Next, you should know what is a constraints in SQL. Constraints क्या होते हैं? These are some rules which will define or specify any data in a table. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी हमने एक कॉलम इंसर्ट किया स्टूडेंट्स टेबल में, दैट वाज द आईडी विच वी डिड नॉट गिव एनी वैल्यू. सो बाय डिफॉल्ट उसमें नल वैल्यू स्टोर हो गया था. तो नॉट नल एक कंस्ट्रेंट है. नॉट नल क्या करेगा? इट विल नॉट अलाउ यू टू गिव अ नल वैल्यू इन एनी कॉलम. अगर आप किसी कॉलम को से लास्ट नेम को यहाँ पे नॉट नल डिफाइन किया, तो नॉट नल लास्ट नेम में आपका नल वैल्यू नहीं आएगा. सो दिस इज अ कंस्ट्रेंट दैट यू आर पुटिंग ऑन एनी कॉलम इन अ टेबल. ओके, वैसे ही यू हैव मल्टीपल कंस्ट्रेंट लाइक यूनिक है, प्राइमरी की इज अ कंस्ट्रेंट. ओके, लास्ट 1 minute I think. This recording, I think it will be, I'll stop sharing. Okay, I think recording it will stop.